your time will come. It's just whether it's now or in a few years or 60. Look at Van Gogh. He didn't make it until he died.
True.
Oh, wow.
So, Anthony, you were born and raised in, like, Isle of Man, right?
Yes.
And you were in, like, London, so how do you think that has reflected the kind of music you made?
I kind of moved to England when I started playing music, so when I was about 11 or 12, I moved, and then I started playing music when I was about 14.
Yeah.
So, and I was on the outskirts of London, whereas you were living right in the middle, right? So I think, yeah, our personalities are different. I wouldn't say the music we make has been formed by the way we lived.
No, and I guess our personalities infer what we do with the music that we make. So where we both listened to like the same artists growing up, we both wanted to make the same type of music, therefore. But coming from London, obviously London is like a music capital of the world, and like all of my friends like went to gigs every night, and like loads of my friends were in bands. It was like really normal. Not that it was abnormal for you, but there was more of a sense that like, you know, you had like your little scene and your community.
Yeah, there was a smaller scene.
And then you used to like have to come into London to shows and stuff. So I think, I don't know, I'm a bit biased, but I have like that anything possible view, because like anything in London is possible. Like, you can do anything and be anyone.
How do you think it's kind of different backgrounds you guys are from, because you were raised mostly like in the sea kind of areas, or you were like mostly like city, right? How do you think that has like made the person you are now?
I moved around a lot when I was a kid. I lived in, I went to like 9 different schools and had to make friends all the time. I moved around because my dad's a fish farmer. So I knew what it was to kind of just let your friends go and then make new ones, which is really strange to do as a kid, but for me it was actually really, really good to do, and it's made me the person I am.
Well, like Anthony can just go into any situation and it's fine. Whereas like touring for Anthony is like chilling, because he's like, cool, new city every day, I can do this, it's fine, new people. Whereas I grew up in the same place for like all my life, one house, one school, one city in London, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, new places and new faces. It's like so like anxiety inducing. So I love like structured ways of doing things. So which is why it's like a good balance, because we're both really different. So when it comes to like releasing art,
that's so true.
I'm like, no, but it has to be like really regimented and planned, and we've got to get it. And Ant's like, just it's cool, whatever. Like we'll go with it. So.
And you were really inspired by your like uncle growing up, right?
Yeah, he was a bluegrass musician.
Yeah.
And he used to come over from America and tour kind of around Europe and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to always just stay at my parents' house and then write some songs, and then I'd be like, whoa, how are you making something out of nothing?
Yeah.
Kind of this magic of songwriting.
Would you say he's kind of like your mentor, like telling you how the music industry works and like...
Yeah, I'd say, the way he's done things has been very kind of independent, and he taught me that I shouldn't have to rely on anyone to make music, which is why I started producing my own music. Yeah. Because, he taught me that actually you should be self-sufficient if you can.
Did you have, like, a mentor person or someone in your family who does music that you looked up to?
No, but nobody in my family is like creative for a living. Like that was not a thing. So it was like Josephine will be a lawyer or a teacher, or like go and work in journalism or something like normal. Because nobody in my family was creative. But I had like my piano teacher growing up was like, you're really good.
Yeah, you did like 5 instruments.
Oh no,
instruments or something.
No, but I had a piano teacher, and he was like, you should go to music college, and he was like really, really encouraging. And then I had like a musical godfather, I suppose, at university. I was studying English literature, but met this guy called Piers, who was like in his 60s, and he was just so cool, and he was like, you've got something, like you should do something with it, and he used to invite me around to his house, and we'd just make songs and make music, and he was like, I'm telling you, he's like, you should go and do music for a living. So when I finished university, I listened to him and I was like, fine, I'll go and do music. So he was kind of like the musical godfather that was like, go for it, you can do it.
How were you able to convince your parents, or were they like slightly supportive or like not at all?
My parents are so supportive, but I think I can imagine it must be really daunting as a parent when you have no prior experience of anything. So like say if my kid was like, I want to be a tattoo artist, and I had no idea about the industry or whether that was feasible or you can make a good living or whether you'd be happy, like you'd just be like, no, don't do that. Whereas actually, so they were just a bit scared of the industry, I suppose.
Yeah, it's the unknown.
Musicians have that reputation of like living like this excessive lifestyle and being really unhappy, and everybody like taking advantage of you and wanting a slice of the pie, and like 0.1% of people make it, and it's like if you add up the stats, it's like the worst industry to go into. So like go figure, they were not, but they were always supportive and like follow your dreams, do what you want, and we're here.
What kind of careers were they in, your parents?
My mum was a nurse, and my dad's a marine biologist.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, most of my family's super sciencey, and then the other half is like really artistic. So.
Did you ever have that like academic phase growing up?
My sisters did that for me. They're both scientists now, so it's kind of my brother writes and I write, and my granddad wrote, so it's kind of that side of the family was creative. So I left the academic stuff to my sisters. I couldn't really care about biology and chemistry as much as writing songs.
Since you guys have been in like the music industry for like a few years, what would you tell your younger self?
Patience is a virtue. I don't think there's any need to rush, because I think you have this overarching sense of like, I just need to do it now and I'm young and but actually I think wisdom is a very powerful thing, and being settled within yourself and knowing what you want, I think is really important.
Yeah, and just not to rush things, I guess. 'Cause I think everything's already mapped out. Your time will come. It's just whether it's now or in a few years. 60. Look at Van Gogh. He didn't make it until he died.
True.
Oh, wow.
What kind of music did your parents play in the house when you were growing up?
Pretty similar stuff, right?
Yeah, it was in the car as well.
Yeah, Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Labby's a Free Cat Stevens, Simon and Garfunkel, Elton John. Oh, so much Elton John. Yeah, just kind of that era of music. Both our parents loved.
Yeah, it's like the songwriting era. It's like when women were starting to write songs, get known for it, and there was kind of these parts where songwriters were writing music for other people, not just themselves.
Yeah, like someone like Carole King, like I was super inspired by as a kid, because I was like, she was a female songwriter, and she played and sang her songs, and she wrote songs for other people. Like, she was so badass. Like, nobody else was doing that at her time.
So.
For the first, like, you were gonna put out music like once a month, like a portfolio. Where did you get that idea from?
I think that was just
I don't know.
fell out of the sky. We were kind of just typing in on SoundCloud where we were listening to music. It said writing about yourself, so we were like, we'll do this every month. And that was it.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it was a great idea. It's like a marketing concept. It's pretty strong, and it helped us grow our fan base.
It's just one of those like really super organic and natural ideas that we had. We didn't really think about it, and now it's like genius, but at the time it's just like, cool, let's do that.
How do you think the initial music you made like reflects you as a person, and do you think it's changed to the music you make now?
I think the new album's got a totally different energy to the first record.
Yeah.
The first record feels quite insular.
Insular, but also, and maybe this is me just looking at back now, but like I feel like those first few songs were so naive.
Yeah.
Like, we were so vulnerable because no one was listening to us really. So you just like, I'll just make some songs. Like, there was never a sense that anybody else would hear it. Maybe that's it. So you were making like songs just for yourself.
Yeah.
So they were just I think that's why they feel so insular, because they were for us. And now it's like, oh crap, like people are gonna listen to whatever we put out. So there's like a heightened awareness of what you're making, I guess.
Yeah, but you constantly have to remind yourself you are making music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it reflects like a different personality of yourself, like the ones you made before and now, it's just kind of like a different part of your personality that you're putting out?
I think tour brings out a different side of people. Having met loads of fans like around the world and heard their stories, how it's affected, like our music's affected them and they affect us then, and how we write music. It's like a massive circle.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
A circle of responsibility. It's pretty cool though, that music can do that.
Do you think you're ever, not like stressed, but like now that so many people are listening to your music, kind of like warps the type of music you're making, or like going into the studio, it's like, oh, actually like 5 million people are gonna like listen.
Billion. Oh my god, I don't think anybody would you reckon 5 billion people would listen to any band on the planet? Like, probably not even like Coldplay would have 5.
Yeah, I was just looking at Michael Jackson.
Okay.
ABBA.
Yeah, ABBA. Yeah, okay.
We're not quite there. You kind of have to just remind yourself, I think. Like, I think when we were doing the second album, we had to go into the headspace of the first album, didn't we?
Yeah.
Having just been on tour for like 2 years and like played on stage, it throws you into this other dimension, whereas actually we should just be making music in a contained environment, right?
Yeah, definitely. Which is why we did it like that. We kind of just hung out at home in London for a few months, and we didn't really listen to any other music, or like, we didn't really do anything else. We just sat home wrote songs and made an album, which I think is really important. Though you have to kind of live in a vacuum for a bit, otherwise I think you just get so like overworked with that sense of like, but somebody's like pinning all their hopes and dreams on this record and getting them through this next year of university, and you're just like, you can't think of it like that.
Are you scared of being like too vulnerable now that people are listening?
I think it's the other way. I feel
you want to be more like.
Yeah, I feel really free because you're in control. Maybe that's just a personal thing. Maybe because I feel like I'm in control of who I am. I feel like we can be quite honest in our songs. So these new songs are quite personal comparative to the first record, because I know that there's almost that, I don't know, what is it? It's like a distance almost.
I think in like previous interviews you've said that you guys are actually like pretty similar personalities, or you like get along really well. Would you say you're kind of like soulmates, or is that just a completely
Well, I would say our personalities are very different.
We're very different people.
Our outlooks are very similar. We both want very similar things out of life.
Yeah. I think we're musical soulmates. Like it definitely feels like, because we've both been making music independently for 7, 8, 9 years before we started O Wonder. So there was that sense that like it wasn't quite sticking, or something wasn't quite, right until like we collided. Yeah, there was a sense that when O Wonder started, it was like, oh, this makes sense because you're bringing something to the table that I can't do, and I'm bringing something to the table that you can't do. So it's like our holes were kind of filled in when we...
Naturally.
Yeah. And it's lucky that we are so different, because I think if I was making music with someone, or being friends with anyone similar to me...
Also, you want to tour bus with someone.
Yeah, I think I'd go mental. You're so chill, it's fine.
And last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
I like the idea of just being the soundtrack to someone's life. It's pretty powerful. A lot of people have said that, even if they're kind of like 25-year-olds, are like, oh, you got me through my university or whatever. It's pretty amazing when they tell you stories of what they've been through.
Yeah.
Mine would be, I'd like to be remembered for squeezing everything out of every opportunity and every moment, because like touring especially makes you realise like how lucky we are, like to be travelling around the world singing songs. Like that's so insane as a concept. And it's when you come to, wherever, like we're in Hong Kong, there'll be like a bunch of people here that have like saved up their money and come to listen to us sing. Like that's the biggest privilege ever. And I feel like you just have to, it's really difficult because it becomes like a job, but actually I think I'd like to be remembered for squeezing like everything out of every moment, and being somebody that people go, oh, she really like valued and appreciated everything that she was thrust into, and you got to do your best, innit?
You got
to,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.